Hello and welcome to another edition of the Mayor Dan Plutko Show. Very pleased to have as my guest Alicia Schuler, and you're with the Relay to Life, which is part of the American Cancer Society, correct?
That is correct.
Well, thank you so much for being my guest. And I don't know exactly what number of the Relay for Life this is going to be, but it's an event we've held annually in the city of Dearborn Heights in May. And this year, I think it's on May 17th and 18th. And Alicia, tell us a little bit for some of the viewers who may not know what we are talking about. What is the Relay for Life?
Yeah, Relay for Life is a 24-hour event based on the premise cancer doesn't sleep. You know, somebody who's battling the disease, they don't get a break. So we come out and we form this 24-hour event, and we make it like a festival type atmosphere so we can, you know, have fun, but at the same time celebrating the seriousness and the tone of what a person who is battling the disease has. We have a few key ceremonies. Our opening ceremonies, they surround our survivors. So if you have any survivors in the city that would like to get enrolled into that, we provide them a t-shirt and a luncheon. We can do that through our website. Then we also honor caregivers, and we have at 10 p.m. a luminaria ceremony, and that's to remember those that we've lost to the disease.
And that's 10 at night. That's something that is very moving.
Yes.
And there's usually a candle ceremony with that, and that is that unless you've experienced, it's very difficult to convey the amount of emotional connection with that. But I can't believe anybody would participate in that and not be emotionally touched in some way. So that, and then it goes till the morning?
Yes, so it's a 24-hour event. We start at 10 a.m. on May 17th, that's a Saturday, and we go through 10 a.m. on Sunday with a closing ceremony.
Now, normally what happens is, as a participant, you end up walking around the particular track, and then there's stations set up.
Right.
And I know the first year, it was a group out of Annapolis High School, and they had a little tent, and some of the groups will sell things, or it might be a beverage, might be food, but they decided to sell goldfish, which didn't work too well, except someone had made the suggestion that maybe while we bought the goldfish, one of the students would swallow them, because we couldn't quite figure out what to do with this goldfish in a little bag. And so, I don't know, he claimed he ate like 17 or 18 goldfish. I trust that he did, but that was added a little different kind of, it's not, what I guess I want to suggest is there's a certain amount of companionship, humorous, it's a nice event to work with people.
Right, and what we can share with your community is that you don't have to be a registered participant or on a team. You could come out for the day and bring your family and know that the dollars you spend are going to fight the disease. Mm-hmm. So that's a great thing. You know, getting into the warmer weather, people are always looking for something to do, and what better way to, you know, spend your hard-earned money than to help somebody else. And they can come out, and you're exactly right, they can play some games, and they can buy some food, and then they can also learn about the programs and services that American Cancer Society has for anybody who is battling the disease.
Alicia, what got you involved? Is there a family member, or what's the connection?
Yeah, actually, I first relayed in Dearborn Heights about 10 years ago over, you know, on the D7 side. It was, unfortunately, that winter, my husband's father had passed away of cancer. And so we went out as a family just to support some other friends who had a first-year team. And from there, I got involved. Like, I've been a team captain. I've been event chair for Dearborn for a couple years, and I work closely with the American Cancer Society in a few different aspects.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that if you have a loved one or you yourself have a need for their service, the American Cancer Society provides a lot of support and a lot of things for a family, for an individual who is battling this disease. And so one learns about all these aspects, but it really is a good organization and gives a lot of support for people who who are battling this disease.
Yes, it does. There's so many programs and services, and this is where my passion comes into play, that people don't know about because it's not public knowledge unless, as participants, as team captains, we share that. We have programs that will take you to your cancer treatment if you don't have a ride. And last year, they estimate 40% of appointments weren't kept just because of that reason. And you're talking about life-saving treatments. Or it's 3 o'clock in the morning and your family member's just been diagnosed and you're sitting on the computer looking up all these horror stories on all these different websites and you're afraid. We have a dedicated line that's open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, that is staffed by a medical professional that will listen to you, will talk to you about that type of diagnosis and give you proper information.
Mm-hmm. Let's take, for an individual, as you recommended, that they bring their family. So the event will be where in Dearborn Heights? Is it at Crestwood?
Yes, it will be held at the Crestwood football field. So you'll park behind the school and come on to the field. And
that's on Beach Daly between Cherry Hill and Ford Road, just south of Ford Road. Okay.
And there will be information on our website, and we can share that information with you probably on the screen. And there's an entertainment schedule, so different groups come out, and there's bands, there's the performing arts group, cheerleaders, there's something for everyone all during the day. So the public can look at that, or they can just come out and have a good time. Each team has something going on.
And I would strongly recommend that they either walk or rather than run, but walk around and then stop at the various locations. And usually there's 1 or 2 groups, if not more, that have some kind of unique specialty that in and of itself is sometimes an entertaining thing. Like I indicated, the one young man that was swallowing goldfish.
Right.
But so you can check that out. You can get some light lunch, a beverage, get some great entertainment, learn a little bit more, and hopefully one would not need this information, but if they do, it becomes a source. And so that's excellent. Now there's another event that you have coming up, a bowling event?
Yeah, actually we have 2 community-wide fundraisers, and this year we're doing them in connection with the Relay for Life of Dearborn. We live next to each other, so we relay next to each other, and we've decided to combine these events. One is the spaghetti dinner on May 7th. It's at Park Place in Dearborn, and we sell tickets for that. We also have like silent auction and a DJ. It's a really fun dinner, weeknight dinner, so parents who don't want to cook after work, they could come out and support us that way. And then we have a bowling event here in Dearborn Heights at Cherry Hill Lanes on Saturday, May 31st. And that's a family event, so anybody can come out and rent a lane and have a good time for us.
Now the spaghetti dinner is on Wednesday, May the 7th from 4 to 8 p.m. And for those who may not know where Park Place, if you are on Outer Drive, it's just south of Michigan, really just south of the Ford dealership. I think that's Park Street, if I recall right.
Yes, it's at the corner of Park and Outer Drive.
So I end up going to events there quite often. It's a lot of groups have fundraisers, and the food is always excellent. And so that sounds like a fun event. So
it is always
spaghetti dinner on May the 7th on Wednesday, and then on May 31st, the bowling event. And it says here tickets include 2 games, pizza and pop, and your shoe rental. So $20 per bowler. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it is. And you get to hang out with a whole bunch of fun people.
Very good. Alicia, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on my show and for being an event chair and the great job that you're doing. And we all need to get out there and support Alicia and the American Cancer Society. So thank you very much for being a guest.
Thank you for having me
on the Dan Plotko Show.